As we start to add custom floors in our site plan to create grassy areas, mulched areas, rocked areas, the water for pools, a sandbox, any sort of stuff like that, the process for that is going to be the same. You're going to want to make sure that your view, your graphics display type is realistic. Okay. Two ways to change that. First off is under graphics display, you can hit edit and set that to realistic. The second one is down here in the small bar here. It's the second one. You can drop that down and hit realistic from there as well. So now you'll be able to see the graphs and the different things as you add them. Now, the other thing you're going to want to do to set up is you're going to want to hide your roofs. So when you select your roof, so it's highlighted, right click on it, and you're going to want to hide in view category. That way, whether you used a single piece roof like this house did, or whether you used multiple pieces that were then blended, all of the roofs go away. What we want is we want to be able to see the wall edge. That way we can make sure that whatever floor we add does go all the way to the wall edge and doesn't stop at the eave or the roof overhang. Okay, as I said, in order to fill these areas in with grass, we're going to do a custom floor. So one of the first things we'll do before we build our floor is I'm actually going to switch over to a web browser and go to Google Images. Now, the thing that I'm going to search for is going to be grass, and then a very important word here is tileable. Tileable. Okay, it's a very specific type of picture. You can go ahead and pick, tileable texture is fine. Okay, but you want to use the term tileable no matter what. Okay, what that means is as I click on this image, this is the same image I already have downloaded to use. This left edge here, when I essentially copy and paste this picture next to it, will merge nicely and you won't see a seam between the left and the right edge. And again, if I repeat it top to bottom, the pattern at the top matches the pattern at the bottom. Therefore, this pattern can be repeated without seams. This is exactly what we're looking for. And again, you can find this same type of thing even if we want a rock area, we want a mulch area, sand, all sorts of stuff. The internet is a wonderful place. So you're going to right click, save image as, and make sure to put this image into the same folder as your document. Now it won't show up because you're saving a picture type, okay? Again, watch your picture types. JPGs work the best for this. PNGs will also work. There are certain picture types that do not work. So if you get an error, it might be what type of picture you saved. So back to Revit. Once we're here, I'm going to go ahead and click floor. So I'm going to put in a custom floor. Currently, I have concrete slab that I've used for my driveway, my sidewalk, my walkway, all this other stuff that is 4 inches thick. I'm keeping that in mind because I'm going to try to do my landscaping stuff all at the same thickness. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually click Edit Type, and then I'm going to click Duplicate. This is going to make a new flooring style. This is very important. I don't want to change the other one. I'm going to name it grass. Once I push OK, I now have that type loaded in. I want to hit Edit under Structure. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce what is currently concrete from a thickness of 4 inches to a thickness of 3. That's because I'm going to add a 1-inch layer of grass up above it, and I want to still have 4 inches total. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change concrete by clicking on the 3 dots to a different material. Now, what would normally go under grass is dirt. Now, you won't see dirt in this listing, but what you will see is earth. Okay, the same thing. When it fills in, oh, I scrolled too far. When the pictures fill in, yours might fill in faster than mine. You'll see that it's just basically a brown texture. And we'll go ahead and click OK. So now I have earth for 3 inches, and that's the structural part of this custom floor. I'm now going to click Insert, which is going to put one above, and I'm going to click up to get it out of the core and up on top. This thickness is going to be my grass layer. So for a thickness, I want to use 1 inch. So again, I still total up to 4 inches total. You can also see that at the top here. Under material, I'm going to click the three dots and I'm going to come down under the list of materials to the little gray sphere with a plus sign. When I click on this, I want to pick create new material. Be very, very cautious about this because if you duplicate the material, there's a little glitch in Revit where when I edit my new material, if I've duplicated it from something else, it changes the duplicated one as well, which is a problem. Again, so create new material for sure. Okay, they call it very original default new material. If I go to identity, at the very top, I can click that and I can change it to grass because we like to be descriptive here. Now, when I go back to appearance, you'll see down here, there's no image, there's no color, it's just there. So I'm going to click where it says no image selected, and it's going to let me import my image. So I'm going to navigate to wherever it is that I have my image saved, and I'm going to click it there and click open. You're going to see it comes in here, and it also after it updates, it will apply itself to the little sphere you see. I do want to click where I see the image because I need to edit the scale, because for whatever reason it believes whatever picture you bring in should cover a 1 foot by 1 foot square. Now as I look at this picture, it looks like it's covering a lot more ground than a foot by a foot. This would be really, really teeny tiny thin grass, and that's not really that true. This looks to me more to be like 5 to 6 feet square. So I'm going to scroll down this little scroll bar down here till I find scale, and I'm going to change one of them, and I'm going to go ahead and use 6 feet. And you'll notice that now it's a 6 foot by 6 foot square. This is something where I can't tell you exactly how you're going to have to set it, because based on the picture, you're going to have to play with it. For mine, 6 foot by 6 foot looks right. For you, you might have to apply this, go make a floor, look at it and go, no, that's too small. You can come back and edit this type later. I'll show you that after we've made a floor already. Okay, but this is not set all pictures at 6 foot by 6 foot. You're going to have to mess with it and make sure you do it under scale, okay, and not offset. So we're going to click done. Okay, so we've done that. Now we click OK, and it creates our material called grass right up there at the top. And then I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click OK again. So now I have the floor type called grass, and as you can see from the preview, I've got that brown earth for 3 inches, and then from the side it looks gray, but then I have my grass layer for 1 inch, again totaling up to 4 inches. I can put this in the same way as I put other floors in. So I can go ahead and draw my boundary lines like I'm going to do at this point, and I'm going to make sure it comes all the way to the edge there, and I'm going to accept that. So I get my floor here, and when I click off, you can see my lovely tiled pattern. Again, if you look at it and you're like, no, that's too tight, that's too, or the image is too small, the image is too large, and you want to change it, this is where you can grab an edge, and with that type there, click Edit Type, and go back to Edit, and go back to the material, and go back to Appearance, and come in here and make any of those changes that you need to. Enlarge it, reduce it, that sort of stuff. And as long as you've done and okay your way out of it, it would make your changes on that floor. Now there's some of these that you're probably not going to want to have to draw a new shape in. Because like if you notice this one here, I've got an arc that I would have to match. I've got a bunch of other lines here. Got a little jog at the wall where the wall and the concrete don't quite meet just perfectly. So I'm not going to want to have to like trace all this stuff. Well, luckily, there's a different way to do it. So I'm going to pick floor. I'm still on the grass layer. And instead of pick walls, which I'm going to use pick walls right now, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this wall so I get my line there. I've also got pick lines. So pick lines is truly, I got this edge of this shape here. I'm going to pick that line, pick this line, pick my curve here. That's a big time saver. And I'm also going to pick this line here. Now you might think, well, why aren't you doing anything with this wall? Well, again, as you can see, there's just an ever so slight difference And if I run this floor under this wall, you're not going to be able to see the seam. So I don't really have an issue running that there. But you'll also see I don't have a closed shape now, and I've got some lines that are longer than they need to be. So I'm going to use my cornering tool, and I'm going to say keep this part and click that part. That gets rid of the extra. And then I'm going to click that same line again and over here, and that's going to extend it and close the shape in. But you'll also notice I do need to get rid of some excess stuff. That line was too long. This line's too long. We want it to stop there. Okay, and now I've got a single enclosed shape. Now, because it goes under, it is going to give me a warning about overlapping some floors. So as I accept it, I see that the highlighted floors overlap, and I'm going to accept it, and that's okay. And I click off of it, and again, that's grass. Now, again, I would probably, if I were doing this for my project, I would have probably made this area like mulch or rock, maybe added some bushes or something like that to make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, I'm going to go through this same process and fill the different areas in with whatever material I need. Okay, I can use my pick lines to get these edges here, my pick walls to get these edges here, pick lines again for the fence and the property line, trim it up, and fill this area in with one motion. I can also do that over here. The only thing I'm going to want to watch is if I want to put like rocked or mulched areas around trees, okay, I'm going to have to pick those to like exclude the grass from going in there. You're going to have to make some decisions about what exactly you want it to do. But that's how you use custom floors to create grassy areas. Now, once all of your grass area is done, or at least is done up against the house, you can come down and click on the Reveal Hidden Elements, the little light bulb down in your lower corner there. Right click where the roof is, Unhide in View category. Click the light bulb again to hide those elements again. And there we are back to actually viewing this as it's intended. So again, if I was to complete this, that could be the end of my site plan once I add in all the features that I need.